It's still Good Morning Anambra show, and I told you earlier that we have more for you, and the time has come. This is welcoming you to the topic that says the future of APGA in Nigeria. And you can agree with me that recently we have about 91 registered political party in Nigeria, and every other party contests for relevance. And if an opposition could, outwit a sitting political party to become a leading party, who says that no other party can do same? And on that note, we'd like to welcome the national chairman of All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Ozompo Victor Oye Ozochi Kwadolu, on the show this morning. Thank you so much for coming.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, talking about the future of APGA in Nigerian politics, let's begin by your assessing the recently, concluded election in Nigeria. What is your view of INEC's performance, and how actually could you assess your rate the conduct of various elections, both the National Assembly, the presidential, and the just concluded elections, sir?
For me, I was not in every stage during the election, though I'm the national chairman of the party. But we are monitoring the election all through the country. In Anambra State, I'll use Anambra State as a yardstick to measure the performance of INEC. I think, in my opinion, INEC has been improving from one election to another. And in my life, I believe in giving honor to whom honor is due. Unfortunately, in Nigeria's political life, people relish undue criticisms, you understand, and pandering to undue emotionalism. That's what happens in Nigeria. For me, INEC has been doing very well. There may be one or two lapses here and there because it's a human organization. It's an organization manned by human beings. You can never have a perfect election anywhere in the world. Look at America, as huge as America is. America is seen today as the bastion of democracy globally. But what has it? It's mired in controversy about the 2017, 2016.
Of course, we know that there is no house. There is no house that you cannot find issues.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That in America, if America could have problem with its election, what about Nigeria?
It's still developing, right?
Yeah, we're still developing, and we're doing very well. To be very frank with you, since the present regime came into office, since after Jega, it has been one success after another. What the stakeholders should do is to pay more attention to INEC. Make sure, apart from funding, there's what we call election management team, EMT. This election management team, the powers of EMT and the personnel that mans the team should be reinforced. You get it? And we should make election in Nigeria a very important item in our developmental initiative. Very, very important. Because if we elect bad leaders, it will affect every facet of Nigeria's life. So we need good people as leaders who can enforce the Constitution. The Constitution is the ground norm. So we need people who have integrity, people who have charisma, people who are pragmatic, people who are credible, people who are visionary.
All right. Actually, before we move into that, we just had elections and not too far away. What's your assessment? Because from all indications, APGA did not really perform the way we expected. Going by our jingles that I love so much, Nkanya and all whatnot, how would you assess the performance of your party, APGA? Are you satisfied with the outcome?
You see, you said in Carbon Kanye. Would you tell that to an Hausa man or Yoruba man? We are looking at nationalizing the party. And if you look at the laws or the act establishing these political parties, there are criteria they will have to meet to operate. One, it must have federal character, national outlook. Do you understand? Regionalization of politics is not allowed in Nigeria. And that's why you're supposed...
Could that be the reason APGA performed the way they performed?
APGA performed very well. That's where I'm coming from.
All right,
Just listen to my analysis. We have taken APGA beyond Anambra State. We have launched APGA into a global brand. Get it? APGA has 35 offshore branches. And in Nigeria, we have performed beyond Anambra State. In the last election, by the time we came to office in 2050, we had 3 members of the House of Reps. Today we have 10. After the 2019 election. It's a plus. Yeah. You say you're not happy with the performance of APGA.
No, I'm asking you. I ask you whether you're happy.
Because in Carbon, I'm telling you that you do not have the facts. If you had had the facts, you would have, you would have put a bottle of champagne on the table here to celebrate what we have done.
Okay.
In the just concluded election?
Definitely. We have 10 members of the House of Reps, we won 10. We went to Benue State and won 3 seats in the House of Reps from Benue. APGA has never won even a councillorship seat in Benue State. We won 3 House of Reps seats. You're not a politician. You don't know what it means for a party to win a House of Reps seat. What it means is that APGA has a caucus in the National Assembly. In fact, APGA is the beautiful bride now.
In other words, you're very satisfied with the outcome.
You can say I'm smiling. I'm very satisfied.
Yes, but basically, this success actually came, in the House of Representatives.
I'm continuing now.
Okay, good.
APGA has one House of, the second largest municipal area council seat in the FCT. No opposition party has ever won a seat in the FCT. APGA won the second largest municipal area council in the FCT with 7 out of 10 councillors. APGA won one chairmanship seat in Kaduna and 2 councillorship seats in Kaduna local government elections. They took away the chairmanship from us and left us with 2 councillorship seats. Because El-Rufai said, what would he tell Buhari that APGA has taken over Kaduna State? It was unimaginable to him. So they would tell our chairmanship seat we won. APGA has 2 members in the Bayelsa House of Assembly. 2. Bayelsa. You didn't know about all this? Okay. APGA has 1 House of Reps member from Abia State. And 3 House of Assembly seats in Abia State. 6 House of Assembly seats in Imo State. Yeah, you don't have statistics.
This is quite
1 House of Reps seat in Taraba State.
This is quite encouraging, and with all you've been saying, all you've said now, it's clear that there was much success in this just concluded election and the party APGA.
Definitely.
But there are reports and talks, agitation from some quarters, especially aggrieved party members who appear disappointed with the way the party conducted its primaries, and they're calling for a change in leadership. What do you say to people like that?
Who are the aggrieved persons?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
There are none.
No, I'm asking you.
But there were reports making the rounds.
I said, who are the aggrieved persons?
And that's what we want to know from you.
Now, you see, we have 36 states in Nigeria.
Okay.
Don't always look at Anambra. It's 36 states of the Federation. We went for an election. We came out of the election successful. Some persons in Anambra State, some persons felt aggrieved. And these were people that lost the primary election. They lost. Must everybody win?
While we are, you said we should not talk about Anambra State. Anambra is a stronghold for APGA.
That's what I'm explaining
so
to
speak.
you. You should have allowed me to explain to you what happened.
Go ahead.
It's very important for you to know.
Go ahead.
That a few persons called themselves aggrieved members. It's not in the constitution of APGA. It's not recognized. We don't know who is aggrieved.
Its members are part of the party.
We don't know some of them. Some of them are operating from PDP. And stoking the fire. Agreed, some people felt genuinely aggrieved. No doubt about it. It's a normal situation now. Must everybody be happy? And as the national chairman of the party, I offered an unreserved apology and asked them, let us bury the hatchet and continue to build this party. This party is a party for tomorrow. Okay. All of us will enjoy. But let us, first of all, lay a solid foundation on which this party will thrive. And let me make it clear to you, since the coming of His Excellency as Governor, Willie Obiano as Governor, APGA has been growing from strength to strength. He has always encouraged the party from the grassroots. From grassroots to national. And don't forget that Anambra is the only state that APGA controls. That's only one governor. And that is why we are working tirelessly to have governors in at least 2-3 states of the federation. If not for the P2B backlash, that backlash of it, even that P2B for president, it caused a huge damage. Because many people thought his presence would change the political equation. But in the end, Buhari still won. But that time, our votes have been wasted. So our people should go back to the drawing board and learn the intrigues of Nigeria's politics.
All right. Now,
I'm saying, the aggrieved persons,
yes,
these aggrieved persons, we are called by the governor. A reconciliation committee was set up. That reconciliation committee turned in its report and said that most of the things these people are saying are not true. And then governor called them, sat them down. Please tell me your grievances. And let me tell you, one instructive thing happened. Governor asked them, you people have been talking about you reform. Stand up. If OJ took money from any of you, nobody stood up.
Okay, now I
want you to appreciate this thing.
I'm so glad,
yes,
that from you rendered an apology to the aggrieved members. Now, looking at the topic we are discussing, the future of APGA in the Nigerian politics, what's the situation now, after rendering the apology and the governor calling them, to really, talk about their grievances. What's the situation as we speak?
The situation is that APGA is growing. Get it clear. Let me tell you. There is an idiom, a British idiom. It says, one swallow does not make a summer. Which you say in Nigeria here, a tree does not make a forest. A tree does not make a forest is Nigerian pidgin. It's not Britishism. It's not standard British usage. So all these people you are talking about have been infiltrated by the enemies of APGA. Just an infinitesimal percentage.
All right.
They are the people making all the... Excuse me, will you remain aggrieved for life? Aggrieved after primary. Aggrieved before election. Aggrieved after election. Aggrieved before convention. Aggrieved. What is aggrieved?
Okay, good. Now let's look ahead. What are the projections of APGA as a party? Now the election has come and gone. The aggrieved members, I believe, must have been talked to and the hatchet buried. What is APGA looking for right now? What are the plans of APGA to probably project the party to a greater height?
We are a forward-looking party, and we believe in working together, consensus building. You know, according to Dalek, the American presidential historian, he said, for you to be a good leader, you must have at least 5 of these basic qualities. The first one is vision. And your vision must be shared vision. APGA is thriving the way it's thriving today because we have a shared vision. We work together, we cooperate. Then the second one is consensus building, team player. All of us work together. The third one is charisma. Charisma is not the house you live in or the cars you ride. Charisma is the ability to connect on a personal level. Then the fourth one is credibility, trustworthiness.
All right, Ozombo, we'll get back to you, but that will be after this break. Please, we'll be going on a short break. When we return, Ozombo Victor Oye will be telling us about their convention to be held soon.
History shows Diamond shared the dream to build more than just a bank, bringing the online revolution to Nigeria and becoming part of the networked society, helping to lift the country and continent out of recession to enrich its people too. Now, with our 2 banks fused together, we can help more move up the social ladder and help future generations make more of their lives, whoever and wherever they are. A new bond to help unleash the potential in every African who banks with us.
All right, you're welcome back to the show, and we have Ozombo Victor Oye in the studio this morning, looking at the future of APGA in the Nigerian politics. Now, Ozombo, APGA is planning a national convention in June 2019. You know, what should APGA faithful expect at the convention? And will you and members of National Exco be submitting yourselves for re-election?
You see, the thing is this. In our constitution, there is provision for a second term. And naturally, it should be choice of first refusal. So we have looked at our activities and our programs, and we feel we still have some more to offer. Some of our programs have just started. Some of them are taking root gradually. And by the time we complete our second term, what we're envisaging, we'll have been able to achieve everything we have set out to accomplish. Number one, let me tell you, APGA is big enough to own its own office in Abuja. They will still operate from a temporary office, from a rented office. For me, it's intolerable.
What are your plans towards that, right?
100%.
Okay.
To build a standard secretariat of the party in Anambra, in Abuja. And this is a party that was formed in 2002. This is 2019. 70 years ago. You don't own a house of your own. While some members of the party own mansions in Abuja abroad, who can't even build a secretariat for the party.
And the expectations of the members during that convention, the expectations of APGA faithful during the convention.
Now, what are the expectations?
What are the expectations of APGA faithful?
They expect that APGA will continue to grow in leaps and bounds through our leadership. They expect that the convention is going to go seamlessly and smoothly. Forget what you read in the papers. APGA is a peaceful, ever-growing political party. What people do, you know, he who has the ball, who holds the ball, is the one that receives the tackles. If APGA were not doing well, nobody will talk about APGA. Do you talk about Labour Party any longer? Do you read anything about Labour? It's because they are in coma. But APGA is alive. And with the present leadership, in fact, let me make a point very clear now. The past leadership of the party, those who handed over to us, did very, very well to secure the party. Because if detractors and enemies had killed the party, there would not have been anything for me to cheer. So they fought ferocious legal battles to keep the party going. So what we are asking from them is to continue to work with us, advise us, because they have more experience. You know,
all right, the program is still Good Morning Anambra, and we are looking at the future of APGA in Nigeria politics. Please, this program is audience participatory. We expect you to call and ask any question. It's not after now. We have the man in the house to answer all your questions. The number are on your screen with which to make call and air your opinion here.
All right, cool. Away from the conventions, it's been in the news that APGA is actually planning to train some of its officers, state chairmen, to trainings abroad. Would that training still go ahead?
Yes, now. You see, we believe that when people contribute money by patronizing, buying our forms.
Sorry, I think we have a caller here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and location.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ojuku.
Your name is Ojuku. We just lost that. All right, keep the calls coming in. We're here to take your calls. You were saying something about the trainings for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When there are proceeds from sale of farms, the money should be judiciously and prudently managed for the benefit of members of the party. So we are working with some organizations outside of this country to see how we can train some of our members.
Okay. Let's hold it there. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Your name and location. Joseph, move away from your TV set. Move away from your TV set. We can't hear you clearly. All right, let's make it easy. When you call us, as much as possible, move away from your TV set, or better still, tone down the volume so we can really hear you very well. You were saying something about partnering with international organizations.
Yeah, we believe that members of the party should be empowered. It's not really work. You need to train them now so that they become more useful to the party and the nation and to themselves as well. So that is the whole idea behind the training program abroad. As soon as the national convention is over, we'll be sending the first batch of our members to train abroad. Okay?
All right, let's quickly look at this, because if you watch from the beginning of the program, you've been very positive about how successful APGA has been. And now I know people are really watching. The party men of this great party are watching. What would you say your achievement for this party has been? How would you assess, your work ever since you took over as the national chairman of this party? And where do you see APGA going in the future in the national, state politics?
All I've been saying, I've been talking about our achievements now. When I talked about 3 seats in Bayelsa, 2 seats in Bayelsa, House of Reps in Benue, APGA has grown from a regional party to a truly national party. APGA is...
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Kingsley from there, we'll go ahead with your contributions.
What I'm saying is that since now, APGA are the more candidates nationwide, then it is not good to have national chairmanship from another state or another geopolitical zone. Since APGA is the national party and no more Igbo or Anambra party. So that if they have a national chairman from outside the state or outside the Igbo geopolitical zone, something else that it will help in getting more supporters nationwide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kingsley, for that intelligent question.
Intelligent? What intelligent? What does he know? You see, the thing is this: the man is just pandering to emotionalism. It's not factual. You see.
He only asked you a question.
No, I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm saying now. It doesn't have any facts. You see, for you to build a party, you must have a strong base. Okay, let's give the chairmanship to Benue or Kaduna. What will you get out of it? Nothing. The party will fail that day. That will be the end of APGA. And that's what the enemies of the party are working for now. Okay, how can you produce chairman of the party when you've not produced a senator? You don't have a member House of Reps. You don't have a member House of Assembly. You don't have a governor. How do you run the party?
But you said that APGA is growing in leaps and bounds nationally.
No, he said it should to come from another state.
Yes.
Which state?
No, he was saying, since you have said that APGA has now grown to a national party, it's not more...
No, get my argument. We are building the party. That we have 3 seats in Bayelsa House, in Benue House in Federal House of Representatives from Benue. That wouldn't make you to produce the chairman. You need a governor. Any state that wants to produce the chairman should produce the governor. Are you getting what I'm saying?
No, I get your gist. But
not gist.
Let's
it's not a gist. It's fact.
Let's move on. Looking at
let him ask his question.
I get your facts, but looking at what is really happening, don't you think APGA is more of an Anambra party than an Igbo party?
What do you mean by Anambra? Is Anambra
he was saying the caller said it is.
We don't allocate chairmanship. Anybody that wants to contest for chairman is free to contest.
All right, now
it's very clear. I don't know why he's making the noise. Let him buy form and contest for chairmanship. It's free.
Okay.
Oh, all right, Sir Victor. Now, Anambra remains APGA's stronghold. In 2 years or so, it will be time for the gubernatorial elections in the state. Are you confident of producing another APGA governor to consolidate on the great development strides of our present governor, Willie Obiano?
Obiano has no competitor, no rival, because he has set a record that no other governor in the foreseeable future can beat. Anambra is the most secure state in Nigeria. What even the Americans cannot achieve has been achieved in Anambra, security-wise. No criminality can thrive in this state. If you kill somebody in this state, make sure that it will not take long before you are caught. And by the way, why should anybody take another person's life? Life is sacred. Let me admonish our people. This life is vanity, it's ephemeral. Don't touch any life if you don't want to go into hate for life.
In other words, are you trying to tell us that even, because Obiano has, this is the second term of 8 years that he's doing, are you saying that when he's going, we can't get somebody that will be like him or surpass him?
I've not said
okay,
so.
we wanted to know whether you will produce another governor under APGA.
I'm giving you the lead to my story. This governor came. P2B was APGA governor. So whatever P2B achieved was achieved by APGA. So it has been a continuum. Since APGA came into office as governor in this state, things have been on the upward trend, achievement after achievement. All of you here, look at how plumpy you look. It is courtesy Obiano's regular payment of salaries. In some states, I know how the civil servants look. They look emaciated, hungry, and disheveled. They look at people, beautiful, plumpy, courtesy Obiano Willie is working. So this governor has done very well, building roads, paying salaries regularly, paying leave allowances, paying pension and gratuity as due, providing security, health system. Let me tell you, it will take this state a very long time to produce this kind of governor. I do not mean that the incoming governor will not do well. I don't know, because I'm not God. The future is in the hubris of posterity. I don't know about tomorrow. But for now, this governor has performed creditably, excellently. God went 7,558 kilometers to choose this governor.
You are sure of that?
I'm giving you facts. He brought him in the midst of confusion. Who will succeed P2B? P2B's performance is unequaled. Nobody can equate it. So people were even skeptical. Whoever will take over will not be able to perform. But Willie Obiano came, 7,558 kilometers, and has astounded even his most acerbic critics. This is one governor. Let me tell you something, by the way. People should know that there's nothing he can do to a man who has been anointed by God for a purpose. Nothing he can do than to align yourself with his vision. And I'm happy that the people of Anambra have realized that this governor is a divine gift to them, given to them gratuitously by God. So they have to guard it jealously.
All right, because time is running out, our friend. Let's just talk about yesterday report making the round, the killers, suspected, people who actually killed Ibuka was arrested. Now, you talked about Anambra being the safest state in Nigeria. With what really happened yesterday, and of course, other ones the security agency has been nipping in the bud in the state, do you still think Anambra is the safest state in the country?
Go to other states, stay for 1 week and come back. You cannot compare. There is no state in Nigeria that can be... I'm a traveler. I move around. Once you step into Anambra state, you just sleep with both eyes closed. But when you're outside of this state, you sleep with one eye open. It is because while we are sleeping, somebody is keeping watch. Governor Willie Obiano hardly sleeps. He goes to bed 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 5. To make sure all of us sleep peacefully. People do not know. Anybody who opens his mouth, take what I'm telling you today, to castigate this governor unduly, will face the wrath of God. We should continue to pray for this man. In 2022, I can bet you he will install a leader, a successor, for sure. Because that leader will take after him and sustain his vision. Because the problem with this country is sustaining visions. That is the problem. We need somebody who will sustain regular payment of salaries. Now, he's the first governor, he's going to be the first governor to pay the 13,000 naira minimum wage.
We can't wait.
He will be the first to pay it. He's an achiever. And let me tell you, the reason Obiano is succeeding and working wonders in the midst of difficulties and hardships is because the man is altruistic, very selfless.
All right. We can go on and on, but for want of time, this is where the show will be terminating. Would like to appreciate you so much, Ozombo Victor Oye, for coming on the show this morning. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
And this is actually where we end this for now. Thanking you so much for watching.